Is your child a video game lover? Have you noticed any changes in their behavior or habits due to video games? Are they neglecting their schoolwork? Are they lacking other social activities like playing outdoor games? Don't worry, we'll explore the reasons behind all these concerns. Let's start by talking about the science behind video game addiction. You may have heard of dopamine, the neurotransmitter that is responsible for pleasure and reward in our brain. When we engage in activities that we enjoy, such as playing video games, our brain releases dopamine, which reinforces that behavior and makes us want to do it more. The problem is that video games are designed to be highly engaging and rewarding, and they can quickly become addictive. This is because they activate the same reward center in the brain that is triggered by drugs, food, and other pleasurable stimuli. Over time, children who play video games excessively can develop an addiction to the dopamine release, making it difficult for them to control their gaming habits. Haven't you noticed that mission or stages of any video game gradually increasing the level of difficulty? This creates a sense of accomplishment and progress, which can be rewarding and motivating for players. However, it can also lead to excessive gameplay and a desire to continue to reach the next level, even if it becomes increasingly challenging and time-consuming. This can contribute to video game addiction, as players may feel a strong urge to keep playing and progress to higher levels, even if it's at the cost of other areas of their life. Now think about drug addiction. In both cases, the brain can develop a dependence on the pleasurable stimulation and release of dopamine, leading to a cycle of compulsive behavior. The stages of video game addiction may include experimentation, escalation, dependence, intensification, desperation. Experimentation: the individual begins to play video games casually and experiences a sense of enjoyment and pleasure. Escalation: the individual starts to play video games more frequently and for longer periods of time, as the brain becomes more and more dependent on the dopamine release. Dependence: the individual becomes addicted to video games and may experience negative consequences, such as neglecting responsibilities and relationships, but continues to play despite these consequences. Intensification: the individual seeks out more challenging and complex video games to sustain the dopamine release and pleasure. Desperation: the individual becomes consumed by video games, may experience withdrawal symptoms when not playing, and may be unable to control their gaming habits. This pattern is similar to the stages of drug addiction, where the individual begins with experimentation, escalates to frequent use, becomes dependent, intensifies their use to achieve the same high, and may eventually become desperate as they try to maintain their addiction. Now that we understand how video game addiction works, let's look at the impact it has on children. Video game addiction can have serious effects on a child's physical, emotional, and mental well-being. For example, excessive gaming can lead to physical problems, such as poor posture, eye strain, and decreased physical activity. Emotional problems, such as anger, frustration, and depression. Mental problems, such as decreased attention span and impaired memory. Additionally, video game addiction can also interfere with a child's social life, as they may spend less time interacting with friends and family, and more time playing video games. So what can we do to prevent video game addiction in children? Here are some tips. Set limits. Establish clear boundaries for video game use, such as a maximum of 1 to 2 hours per day. Encourage other activities. Encourage your child to participate in other activities, such as sports, music, or art. Balance screen time. Make sure your child has a balance of screen time and other activities, and encourage them to take breaks from video games every hour. Get involved. Play video games with your child and learn about their favorite games. This can help you understand their interest and also keep a check on their habits. Seek professional help. If you think your child may have an addiction to video games, seek the help of a healthcare professional. In conclusion, video game addiction in children is a growing concern, but it's preventable. By understanding the science behind video game addiction and taking steps to prevent it, we can help our children lead healthy and balanced lives. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you found it informative and engaging. If you have any thoughts or questions, please leave them in the comments below.